The Mets have found a hidden gem. Seventh-round pick pitcher Jonah Tong has been straight dominant in Double-A. The man has been on a run, putting up insane numbers that the Mets would love to see continue as he makes his ascent towards the majors. The Mets also signed a European amateur pitcher for the first time ever. I am Adam Choit, your host here on Mets Digest, and before we get into all that, I want to remind you guys to please click subscribe, because as you can see, nearly 70% of you guys watching are not subscribed, so that is definitely appreciated for sure. Now that we got that out of the way, let's dive into today's topic. I want to talk all about this guy right here, Jonah Tong, who has been just awesome as he makes his way towards, well, first AAA and then towards the majors. But let's dive into some Jonah Tong content here, because I was looking up some info about him here, and his primary pitches are his fastball and his slider. His fastball is known for its high vertical movement, often referred to as his bread and butter, according to SNY. He also utilizes a slider, which has become a key strikeout pitch. A curveball is also often used to tunnel off his fastball. That's per MLB.com. So that's a little bit of info about his stuff. And let's get into his dominant run lately here, because he was pitcher of the month for May and June in his league in Double-A. It was June of Jonah. In 5 June starts, Jonah Tong went 3-0 with a .93 ERA and struck out 43 batters. For the second straight time, he has been named Eastern League Pitcher of the Month. So congratulations to him. That's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. That was Mets Player Development X account, and Joe DeMayo here commented about Jonah Tong, right-hander Jonah Tong, tonight for Double-A Binghamton, because he actually had a start yesterday. I'm recording this Sunday morning on the 5th, but last night 5 2/3, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and 10 strikeouts. He threw 92 pitches, 52 strikes, and generated 16 swing and misses. It was his 5th game this season with 10-plus Ks. That's eye-popping. That is pretty nuts. Jonah Tong's ERA stands at 1.83, and he has a minor league leading 125 Ks in 78 2/3 innings. That's MILB. That's all leagues. So that's super-duper impressive stuff from Jonah Tong. And here's per the Binghamton Rumble Ponies account. Jonah Tong, number 2 prospect, finishes on a high note with 5 strikeouts to end his outing. So he finished strong, which is good to see, because, of course, a lot of pitchers, as they go through lineups the second, third time, batters adjust. Batters are becoming more intelligent, more advanced, even as they ascend through the minor leagues due to analytics and video research, and we'll get more into that actually momentarily too. Let's dive into a little bit more about Jonah's run, his ascent rather, through the minor leagues. Jonah Tong has been named Eastern League Pitcher of the Month for June, 1 month after he received the same award in May. He's the first player in Binghamton history to win the award in back-to-back months. Tong made 5 starts in June, going 3-0 with a .93 ERA in 29 innings. It's simply an absurd run, no other way to describe it, one that earned him a spot in the Futures game. You can expect him to move up to AAA shortly after that appearance in all likelihood. At a minimum, he's leapfrogged Brandon Sproat and possibly Nolan McLean as well. National outlets such as Baseball America still have McLean ahead for now, but only just for now, and there's been a significant climb up the rankings for Tong to date that will only continue if he keeps performing like this. More importantly, he could help the Mets down the stretch if he pitches well at AAA. That's Lucas from Amazing Avenue telling us some more info about Jonah Tong's recent run. When we re-racked the Mets' top 15 prospects a month ago from Complex to Queens, Tong had moved up significantly. At a minimum, he's leapfrog Brandon Sproat. At this point, he's got a very solid chance to be slotted ahead of Nolan McLean as well. National outlets such as Baseball America still have McLean ahead for now, but only just for now. So yeah, he's on his way. I wanted to get to the other big story that came out yesterday morning with the Mets. They made another very intriguing, totally unique signing, and it was this guy here, Matteo Marelli. And I want to tell you all about him because he's the first European amateur pitcher the Mets have ever signed. So let's take a look at some info about this guy here. For 2 years, Mets scout Rosario Chiavaro watched Matteo Marelli compete at Major League Baseball's European Development Tournament in London. At that time, Morelli was still a raw teenage pitcher, far from a legitimate Major League Baseball prospect. He did not yet stand out in meaningful ways. With their recent investments in international infrastructure, however, the Mets have more resources than ever to commit to the scouting of such players. 3 months ago, when Chiavaro showed up to the EDT, that's the tournament, in Barcelona, he noticed Morelli's fastball velocity had jumped from the mid-80s to as high as 94. His changeup looked like a legitimate weapon. It was enough for Chiavaro to reach out to Morelli's father, who was also his agent. 2 months later, the 19-year-old Morelli is set to become the first European amateur signing in Major League history. He and the Mets will make their agreement official at a small ceremony Saturday in Rovigo, Italy. Congratulations to him, to Matteo, to his family. That's a very, very cool story, and he's certainly a project at a teenage age. He is, but definitely something exciting to follow and moving forward to see how his career progresses. The son. This is more about Matteo. The son of a ski instructor, he specifically gravitated towards baseball and specifically to the mound. Over the years, the right-handed Morelli developed 5 distinct pitches, including a kick change he perfected by watching social media videos. Once he formally joins the Mets, Morelli will begin his professional career in the Dominican Summer League, playing alongside mostly Latin American teenagers. His challenges will include acclimating to the culture and the weather. If Morelli succeeds, he will eventually make his way towards full-season baseball in Florida with an eye towards one day reaching Queens. That's Anthony DiComo from MLB.com telling us more about Matteo Morelli. We'll see how things shake out with his career. Definitely an exciting thing. He has room to grow. I was digging into a little bit of his numbers. They are not the greatest numbers, but he did have a 3.74 ERA last season pitching overseas. The walks are definitely high. The whip is high. Like I said, this man is a project, but he's a student of the game as well. He's not just a power arm that the Mets are taking a chance on. They see this guy, and he sees himself as a pitcher. Like I said, a student in the game with plenty of room to grow. And this is not unheard of. This is the world has changed with technology and the internet and social media. You even hear stories about like Joel Embiid and basketball, learning different shots. Guys, see something on social media, on Instagram, on YouTube, and then they're out in the driveway practicing the shots. And it's no different than with baseball players. You don't have to just watch your regional team or, if you're not even in North America, you still have access to seeing all these pitchers and hitters at the pro level to imitate, to learn from. And it's all about location. If Morelli could find that control and that command, and like I mentioned, and he has that plus changeup, there's definitely potential. It's all about location. And I would say second to that is keeping hitters off balance. So if you got command and you could command the zone and you have that location and you could spot your fastball and use your changeup, there's definitely a good opportunity for success for the for pitchers, for young pitchers that the Mets hope make it to the majors and can contribute. But what do you guys think? Do you think we'll see Jonah Tong this year? Is he going to dominate in AAA as well? And maybe will he be a piece down the stretch for the Mets? Are you optimistic about the Mets minor league pitching system? There's some arms on their way. We're all excited. We want to push them. I am, but especially as you see injuries. But tell me what you think. And let's go Mets, especially this afternoon against the Yankees. Let's get that win and talk soon.